Hey everybody, welcome. This is Dr. Heather Carden and I am coming to you live. I had an amazing opportunity to talk with lots of people the last few weeks, and really one of the common questions I'm getting is, how do I break a stall? How do I break a plateau? So I thought I'd come to you Facebook Live and really help answer those questions. I'm going to give you some tips to help you further on your journey towards optimal health. So I'm going to take a couple minutes here while people are getting on to actually change the position of my camera to help with the sun, because it seems to be super bright in my house today. I wanted to come to you live from my kitchen because that's really where most of us end up finding our food sources and our fuel sources. So hopefully this is a place where you feel comfortable that I can just bring again some tidbits to help you really find better ways to help optimize your health. So again, I'm adjusting the light here just a couple minutes and then I'm gonna get started. So if you don't know me, I'm a born and raised person from Paola, Kansas. My office is in Overland Park, Kansas. I graduated 20 years ago from chiropractic school. Also, I'm an acupuncturist. Our clinic really focuses on functional or integrative wellness. What that means is really helping you from the inside out, not just looking at what's happening on the exterior of your body. So the first thing I think we need to do is we need to define really what a stall or plateau is. Again, I'm super sorry for the light, but hey Frank, thanks for joining in. Many people get super distraught if they're trying to find a different body composition or really just trying to find a different weight plateau, that they're like, oh gosh, I've been stuck for 2 days and the scale hasn't moved. I want you to throw out the old scale if that's what you have. There's so much more to your body and your health than simply what a number is. And the first question I really encourage people to do is get a good set of scale. Get a really good measurement. Maybe I know that KU Men's Center, we actually have a bod pod. You can go take a dive and they'll tell you exactly what your ideal body mass should be, what your bone mass is, what your visceral fat is. Those things are all really important when you're focusing on this scale. You can also use a higher grade Tanita scale that's D1 rated to tell us where the optimal health or optimal fat should be. So it does vary from age to age and gender to gender. So it depends on really what you are, but know that you shouldn't weigh what you did in high school, because as we age, we actually lose lean muscle mass. So if we're talking about a stall or plateau, number one, know where your ideal body mass or body fat should be. Number two, I want you to get something other like measurements. Measure your arm circumferences. I generally take measurements around the neck, around the arm, 2 or 3 different places in the abdomen, the thighs, the buttocks, the calf, and use centimeters because they're a much more precise measurement, or simply use just a string. I've got my earbuds here, but you can just take a string and you can put a piece of masking tape on there and you can measure your arms and just put the date on there. It doesn't really matter what the numbers are. It matters that it's going in a healthier range for you. And know that it takes almost 60 days to start making changes. I know it used to be like, hey, start 6 weeks with a trainer and then you'll really start seeing different functions, but know that it does take 6 weeks to almost 60 days to start getting some of those changes made. So where do I go from here? Number one, do not compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare yourself to what you used to be 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Hey Dee, thanks for joining us here. I am going to answer questions as we go through. So we just talked about really what a stall or plateau is. That means you've had no body changes. That means body composition besides the weight, maybe visceral fat, water, bone mass, inches, centimeters, no change in 3 weeks, not 2 days, not 24 hours, not 72 hours, not 4 days, because we know that we actually have 30 different hormones that help regulate our body mass. So give it 3 weeks. And if you haven't had a change in 3 weeks, no inches, no centimeters, no scale, that's time that we start making some changes in your diet. So number one, please make sure you're drinking plenty of water. People actually don't know that your body will hold on to water, which can change what that scale says, or actually, think of it like a balloon. The more water in your body will hold on to water when it's deficient in it. When you start drinking more water, your body will actually let go of the water out of the fat cells. So again, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and know that there's foods that you could be eating that can be very dehydrating. If you have a food allergy, those allergies can actually be dehydrating in your body. So a dairy allergy can cause you to hold on to extra weight, or a gluten allergy, or a peanut allergy, or even if it's a sensitivity. And if you're also doing a lot of things that are natural diuretics, like lots of caffeine, caffeine is a very healthy source that actually can help immobilize fats and ketones into your brain, into your body, but too much is not a good thing either, because that can actually cause dehydration. And make sure you're drinking plenty of water to backfeed what you're losing just through normal perspiration. We'll lose a pint of water at night while we're sleeping. If you're exercising 1 or 2 hours, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Number two, if you've hit a stall or plateau, simply write down for 2 or 3 days what you're putting in your mouth. It is a calorie and it is an endocrine, which means it does really matter what you're putting into your mouth. So we talk about calories. I generally say calories don't count, but they kind of do when you're looking for a plateau. So say you've lost 50 pounds and you figured out what your macros should have been, what your fat, your protein, your carbs. You've lost 10 pounds, 15 pounds. You need to recalculate what your new body is today because you weren't what you were when you were 10, 15, even 40 pounds ago. So don't continue to eat the same that you did that made you lose 40 pounds or helped you lose 40 pounds of fat or what helped you increase some lean muscle mass. You've got to really change that around, because the body today is not what the body was yesterday. Everything we do day to day affects how our body mass is composed. So calculate your calories, calculate your percentage of body mass, and then maybe look at cutting out something. Maybe you've been doing lots of healthy nuts. Maybe it's time to do lots of healthy seeds like sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. Maybe you've been doing lots of red meat and chicken. Let's change those proteins around and do lots of fish. Maybe you've been stuck on broccoli. Let's do some asparagus or some zucchini. We want to do some macronutrient confusion so your body gets different nutrients from different places. So make sure that you're changing your food or rotating your sources of food, whether it's protein, carbohydrates, or fat. Again, cut one thing out. So if you've been doing Diet Coke this whole journey or maybe some diet tea or something like that, cut that out and see if that doesn't help move you towards that. Again, make sure you're calculating your water and your caffeine. The next thing is you want to trick your body. Again, it's not the same body it was when you started your healthcare journey 10 days ago, 20 days ago, 6 weeks ago. Switch something up. So if you know I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, I'm doing this workout 3 times a week, switch something up. Those maybe have become your body's activity of daily living. So if you run 5 miles every day, even though you didn't do it 3 months ago, your body's saying, hey, this is my normal activity of daily living. You need to switch something up. Try doing some more HIIT workout. What that means is you want to do maybe 10 to 50 seconds really hard, like maybe plyo jacks or jumping jacks or mountain climbers, and then really slow your body metabolism way back down and just maybe march in place, do some light weights, and then again, hit that again. So a minute of high intensity, a minute of low intensity. Or if you've been doing Pilates 3 or 4 times a week, switch up to a kickboxing class. If you've been cycling, then move to a treadmill. If you've been on a treadmill, then move to a stair climber. Create confusion for your body because our leg muscles use a lot of energy. So use those to really help get your body through some of those plateaus and again, mixing it up and creating macronutrient confusion and really performance efficiency is rotating your food sources, rotating your exercise. Another thing you need to do is you need to define, is this a diet that you're on or is this a lifestyle that you're living? So a diet can be defined as just the food we put in our mouth. Lifestyle incorporates more. It incorporates the mindfulness that we have every day. It's things that help eliminate stress. So number 4 is define if it's a diet or a lifestyle for you. I think that's really important. So you need to know where you're going. If this is a lifestyle, it's a journey you're going to be on the rest of your life. If it's a diet, it's something you're doing for just a few days, then you need to define that also. Number 6, if you've done 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have no idea what to do next, and you've been at that plateau or stall for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, then maybe think about doing a fast. Again, before you do any dietary changes, please check with your healthcare provider. I am not here to diagnose any diseases or give you any medical advice. I'm simply sharing tips that have helped patients in my office the last few years really be successful getting to their optimal state of health. So think about doing a fast. Our digestive tract uses tons of energy every day. So a way to let our body really rest and give it a gift to our body is to do a water fast or do maybe a fat fast. The difference with the water fast is I actually use water, maybe some fermented greens, some spa water, a little bit of exogenous ketones to make sure that my brain's being fed and I feel really good throughout the fast. And you can do it anywhere from 12 to maybe 24 to 48 hours. I wouldn't do it much past 48 or 72 if you haven't consulted with your doctor. Or maybe just do a 2 to 3 day fat fast. I've also had some videos on that. That's strictly using really healthy plant fats for 2 to 3 days, anywhere from 500 to 800 calories. You may need to adjust your exercise program because you're on a lower calorie diet. But a fat fast is simply eating fats when you're hungry, like avocados and olives and nuts and seeds, butter, coconut, MCT oil, things like that, because you just want to make that macronutrient confusion to help get your body moving faster forward. maybe a fast isn't for you, a water fast, you simply can't do that. Even using exogenous ketones, maybe a fat fast isn't appealing, then try an intermittent fast. I'd rather call it intermittent eating. All that means is if you normally eat your breakfast at 8 a.m. and then you eat your dinner at 8 p.m., simply shorten your eating window. Maybe move that dinner up to 6 o'clock. So what happens is after your body consumes food and then you go to bed, what happens is your body utilizes all that insulin and glucose inside your blood cell. And once that happens, your body uses all that insulin or glucose in your blood that came from the carbohydrates and other things that you ate. Your body will actually tap into your fat, whether it's white or brown. It will uncouple it, and then your body will make ketones while you're sleeping. So shorten that eating window 2 or 3 days a week, or maybe for the whole entire month. Make that really, if you're eating in a 12-hour window, maybe go to a 6-hour window. And in that fasting time, it's absolutely fine to have water, herbal teas, sleepy time tea, calm tea, even some exogenous ketones. A little bit of bone broth is also fine, but you just want to shorten that window of eating. So decide if maybe a water fast is best for you to help break a plateau or stall, or a fat fast, or maybe intermittent fasting. 7, we talked about, is rotating foods. Don't have that same schedule every single day. God grew many different varieties of vegetables and made many different protein sources and many different nuts and seeds. Each one has its own unique properties. Our body needs 21 essential amino acids. We have lots of different fatty acids that our body needs. We also have about 30 different hormones that control the foods that we eat. So make sure that you're rotating your foods, rotating your times, and even just a 2 or 3 degree shift can make a huge difference on how you feel. Number 7, make sure you're sleeping enough. Cortisol can stress havoc on our bodies or create havoc on our bodies. I've had patients just increase their sleeping time 30 minutes a day. So maybe they're only sleeping 7 hours and they go to 7.5 hours. That's actually time you get to bed. You put your computer away, you put the TV away, you stop the blue lights, you actually go to bed and wake up. And sometimes even just a 30-minute shift in your day can add a tremendous amount of energy restoration in your body and allow your body to relax in order to let those fat calories go. So that's number 8 is number 7 is get more sleep. Number 7 is identify the stress. So maybe it's a daily stress in your life that's causing you to not eat or make unhealthy changes or causing our hormones to be out of balance. So identify that stress and help clear your calendar if that's it. Maybe it's friends that stress you out or things in your workday that help stress you out. Identify what those are, and again, just make a 2 or 3 degree shift. It can do amazing things for your body, letting go of that stress. Maybe add a accountability journal. Maybe do something that is more of a devotion in the morning, some meditation in the morning, some meditation at night. Keep a gratitude journal. Just write down 2 things a day that you're grateful for before you go to bed or before you wake up, and maybe just 1 act of kindness a week that you'd like to give. That's really when we talk about a lifestyle versus a diet. Getting that mindfulness is the 3rd leg of health. So we have diet, exercise, and mindfulness. It can make a huge shift in what happens to your body composition and breaking that stall or plateau. Number 3, if you've done everything 1 through 8, then if you're on prescription medications, I would encourage you to Google those. There are many prescription medications that actually cause us to increase weight or increase fat gain. I could sit here for 10 minutes and give you a whole list of those, but if you're on a prescription medication, Google that and see if that's one of the potential side effects. If that is, then maybe have a discussion with your healthcare provider and say, I'd like to try to do this naturally with XYZ instead of taking this ABC, because I'm really trying to optimize my health and really want to help lower that fat range. So look up medications that you're on. I'm in not any way telling you to stop any medications. Just simply look at those and see that maybe be one piece of the puzzle that's actually causing your body not to get to where you want it to be. With that being said, I'd also make sure that you have current blood testing done. If you've been at the same weight and you're eating organically and you're eating all the right stuff, you switch your food, you switch your lifestyle, you're doing a gratitude journal, and it's still not changing or maybe increasing some fat, then it's time to have some blood work done. Again, 30 different hormones are involved with our body, from inflammatory markers to hormone markers to insulin to insulin to cortisol. So many different parameters can actually dictate what our body's function is. So get some blood testing done. Number 10, hopefully you guys have a pen or paper there. That's actually finding tools that work for you. Just because it worked for somebody doesn't mean it worked for you. So different tools that we have. Number 1, which is most important tools, is find a friend, Find an accountability partner. Find somebody who's on the same journey as you, not someone who causes your body to be stressed out or to cause you to go all wired up. Find somebody who wants to be the journey along with you. They don't have to have the same exact health goals, but they do need to have to be on the same lifestyle, which is actually finding a lifestyle that works best for you, optimizing your body, and inspiring other people. So find a friend, find an accountability partner. Other things you can do, you can take Epsom salt bath. It really helps balance out the pH of your body. Our skin is our largest organ, so even just doing some Epsom salt baths 1 to 3 times a week can actually help really change a plateau or break a stall that you're having or help reduce inflammation. We also use things in our office like an ionic foot bath, which helps pull out toxins. It just accelerates that level of detoxification. Acupuncture also is an amazing tool that we've used for centuries to really help optimize your health, balance out the chi in your body. I like using different types of products. Like I love using, I've got some here, but even things like adding just in some Himalayan sea salt that's got macronutrients in it. Oftentimes nutrient deficiencies can cause us to hold on to excess fat because our body wants to use that for energy instead of something else. So maybe you're slightly anemic and your body really needs that iron, but it may hold on to that whiter brown fat and not allow you to get to your optimal state. Again, those are blood tests that you need to do with your healthcare provider. I also love using exogenous ketones. It's a way to feed and nourish our body at the cellular level. It helps reduce inflammation. It gives our body better energy and better focus. It's a tool that I've been able to use the last 18 months in our clinic along with some of these other ones. So I really hope that I brought some value to your day today. I haven't seen any big questions pop up there. So again, I'm just going to review what those are. So again, a stellar plateau is defined as no changes in your body's circumference, size, weight with really about a 21-day. 1, don't compare yourself to another person. Make sure that you know what your optimal body weight should be and what your bone mass and visceral fat should be. Drink lots of water, cut back on some of your caffeine, start tracking your food for 2 or 3 days. Oftentimes we have what's called carb creep. It means we take a little bite of this off my kid's plate, a little bite of that, I taste a little bit of this, and you have no idea how fast carb creep can creep back up on you. Again, we talked about rotating your foods, rotating your grains, rotating your meats from maybe more pork and beef to more healthy red fishes and white fishes, even some shellfish. Rotate your nuts and seeds. Seeds have a lot of zinc and magnesium, where nuts sometimes can be an inflammatory process. Make sure you're sleeping enough. When you know you're sleeping enough, you actually go to bed when you lay down, not taking hours scrolling for your phone and computer, and then you actually wake up feeling refreshed. You should wake up with the sun. If you're feeling groggy, then you know you may not be getting enough sleep. So add 30 extra minutes to your day. And if none of these have worked, we talked about number 8, de-stressing your life, identifying just 1 or 2 minor stressors, and then maybe adding a gratitude journal, maybe some random act of kindness, because those are mindful things that really can help a healthy lifestyle continue on. If none of those have worked, check with your healthcare provider, get some proper testing done, make sure they realize that maybe there's something metabolically not out of balance. Check your prescription drugs to see if those might be causing some of those blocks in your body not getting to where you want to be. Again, tools are finding a partner, Epsom salt. Amanda, thank you for sharing some of those different recipes that you like. Holly's given me some fabulous Himalayan sea salts from across the pond. Love those. Super healthy for our body. So hopefully I brought some tips and a little bit of nuggets today to help you continue on your optimal state of health and journey, and to help break those plateaus and stalls that you may be experiencing. Gonna get hundreds of questions every week. How do we break that plateau? It's more than just one thing. It's several things combined. But again, identify where you should be with your own healthcare journey. Don't compare yourself to someone else. Be kind to your body. Thank your body every day for the service that it provides for you, whether it's taking care of your children, getting to work, being a good daughter, being a good mother or son or father. I should put it in the gender term. But again, thank your body for that, because then that can really help encourage your body to be where it wants to be and not in a high stress state. So Dee is saying, can you ask your normal doctor, I don't know what normal doctor means, hormone testing, or does it have to be with something? You know what, I would just tell your doctor that you'd maybe like to have your thyroid checked. Maybe you have a tendency of having diabetes in your family. Make sure you have your blood sugar checked, what your A1C should be. There's different inflammatory markers like SED rates, CRP. Those are homocysteine levels. Those are simple things that check and see if there's inflammation at a cellular level in your heart or other things. Definitely if you're menopause or andropause for men, make sure you're having testosterone, free in total. Estradiol for men is a great thing to have checked. Testosterone for women. Vitamin D, those type of things can also help B deficiencies that can cause stalls or plateaus. So worked with a functional integrative doctor that's going to look at more than just your blood pressure. I'm not naming names or saying anything derogatory, but yes, there's some fabulous primary health care practitioners around there that can check all of those things. Just let them know you want to have those. So my standard panel will be a CBC, a CMP. Those are things your doctors know, checking for magnesium and calcium and chloride, seeing what your liver enzymes are doing. Check your TSH, which is your thyroid hormones are T3 and T4. Maybe check again your vitamin D level. If you're not sleeping great or having some skin issues, check hormones if you're having hot flashes or you're not sleeping great. And number one starts with your diet. 80% of what we put in our mouth dictates our function, because we know that everything that we eat provides energy for our body. It can be a negative energy source like inflammation, or it can be an amazing positive resource like our body. If we eat fats, it actually can reduce inflammation. We know sugar increases inflammation. We know fat and fatty acids and proteins are the building blocks to our brain and to our fuel source, where sugars can actually break down lean muscle mass. Sugars and caffeine can cause hypertension. So just really analyze your diet before just jumping to your doctor and say, hey, I want all these tests done. I heard a video. So again, just look at your own healthcare, where you want it to go and where it should be, and hopefully that helps answer your questions. Oh, Dee, so I understand military. Yep. So hopefully those things, I would always ask for a cholesterol panel or lipid panel, a CBC, a CMP. I don't know how old you are, and that's when we start talking about hormones, because again, we've got 30 different hormones. Look for some inflammatory markers if you've got inflammation in your joints or in your gut. If you're having a lot of gut issues, get some food allergy testing done. We know that allergies can cause inflammation. Think of if you're allergic to something in the air, your nose swells up, your eye swells up. If you're putting food in your mouth, even if you think it's broccoli and should be super healthy, if your body's allergic to it, it could be causing swelling. It could be causing some digestive changes and actually causing some increased weight. So hopefully that helps answer your question. I've had a great time hanging out with you guys today. I will be back next week. I just simply base my small conversations on, or information based on the emails and questions that I get throughout the week. So hopefully this helps answer your questions. If you have more specific questions, please comment below. I'll go back and read these throughout the day. If it's about specific products, Dee, I will actually go back and list those exact lab panels that we look for. But again, your doctor has to have reasons to start looking for those. You can't just check a box if you don't have any healthcare concerns. So it's called coding or diagnosing. So definitely if you've got fatigue, if you've got hair loss, things like that, that would warrant maybe checking your iron, checking your testosterone, checking your estrogen, DHEA, things like that. Whether you're male or female, those things can be checked. Again, if you have a family history of high cholesterol or high blood pressure, make sure you get magnesium checked. Make sure maybe you get your vitamin D, because the vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. Maybe that's what's stopping you from sleeping. And sleep is so important for resting and repairing our body and getting to that optimal state of health. So I'm going to tell you to have a fabulous day. Touch base with you next week. And I really look forward to your comments, and thank you for joining me today. Have a super day.